Somehow I started out very small on the corner of the screen. Greetings. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to Black Bear News. Another episode, another rousing episode. It's Wednesday. We had a grooving kitty on the screen, courtesy of Victory Jen. Victory Jen posted that on X. It looked like the cat was rocking out to the theme song. That's why I put it up there. What? Hold on. Reverse. Rewind. Hold the presses. Back up. Tell me more. Why? Why do glass bottles have more microplastics than plastic ones? Is this a real study? Is this a fake study? Is it a study to the caps? Because the caps are plastic. Is that right? Or is it the caps have something else going on? That's the thing. It's the plastic caps that'll get you. Yeah, when you go when you go non-plastic, you have to go all the way non-plastic. And it's really tough because even if you have like a metal or a wooden cap, they usually put a plastic lining around it. Yes. Yes, that makes sense. Yeah. You really got to be stringent in not getting poisoned. I like that cat. Maybe we'll bring the cat back. We're live on X. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Telegram. If you want to watch on Telegram, the link is in the description box. You can check us out over there. All right. I have not updated Patreon in a while, and I don't know if anybody really cares, but sorry to the Patreoners for not updating the links. I'm going to try and do that this afternoon. Yeah, it's the Spanky SM58, yes. Flooding in Mexico. This is happening all over the place, but just checking in on the weather disturbances. Sorry, my speaking is not clear. Well, what do you want to, what are you going to do if you want to get a good tight seal on a metal or glass bottle? What do you do? Is it cork for you? Is it something else? What's the material? Any ideas? Also, Playtic is pretty good for you. Cork and wax. All right, there's a new sheriff in town in New York City. And I don't know. Some people think this guy is the real deal. Some people have their skepticisms. I would say reserve, preserve, hold your full scale support. I mean, you got to support somebody enough to vote for him, I guess. But Denver says if he won, he's not the real deal. Yeah, I think a lot of people think that. I'm very, very torn on this subject. I know that a lot of people think that all elections are especially in New York, especially in a place like Chicago or New York, all elections are absolutely fraudulent. And I get it. I get that. I get that take. The thing that's really difficult is that the idea that every single thing is fake and not worth engaging in. Can be a freeing idea, but it can also be, I feel like it's a trap too. Because I saw another post earlier about how, you know, the AI technocracy is coming for us all and we're not doing anything. Well, yeah, you're not doing anything because everybody told you that nothing is worth engaging in, right? No organizing, no political people, nobody, no crowds. Stay out of the crowds. Stay home, do your own thing. Right? Plant a garden and opt out. Something. But the problem is that when you do that, you just allow the encroachers to encroach. The tiptoe becomes a sprint. And that's what's happening. The tiptoe is becoming a sprint towards locking you all down. And everybody's just sitting around going, well, it's all, don't do anything, guys. If you don't do anything, you're going to get what you're going to get. And so it's a catch-22. At some point, somebody has to act somewhere. And I you know, it's tough. It's a tough one. Because yes, anybody who assumes any kind of power or prominence or fame tends to be either co-opted from the start or co-opted eventually. And so what are you going to do? Anyways, Mamdani is now the mayor of New York. Here you can see why he was the only America First candidate. Zionists are seething. America is waking up. Maybe.
The first foreign visit by a mayor of New York is always considered significant. Where would you go first? Right, Ms. Adams.
First visit, I would visit the Holy Land.
Mr. Cuomo?
Given the hostility and the anti-Semitism that has been shown in New York, I would go to Israel.
The anti-Semitism.
Mr. Tilson, where would you go?
Yeah, I'd make my 4th trip to Israel, followed by my 5th trip to Ukraine, 2 of our greatest allies fighting on the front lines of the global war on terror.
Mr. Mamdani?
I would stay in New York City. My plans are to address New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs and focus on that.
Mr. Mamdani, can I just jump in? Would you visit Israel as mayor?
I will be doing, as the mayor, I'll be standing up for Jewish New Yorkers and I'll be meeting them wherever they are across the 5 boroughs, whether that's in their synagogues and temples or at their homes or at the subway platform, because ultimately we need to focus on delivering on their concerns.
And just yes or no, do you believe in a Jewish state of Israel?
I believe Israel has the right to exist.
Not
as a Jewish state?
Notice.
As a state with equal rights.
He won't
Not as a
say it
Jewish
has a
state.
right to exist as a Jewish state. Be very
And
clear
his
on
answer
that.
was no, he won't visit Israel.
I said that.
That's what he was trying to say.
No. Unlike
No,
you,
he
I
never-
answer questions
no.
very
Okay.
directly.
All right.
My goal would be to take my first trip to Israel. My wife's life work in this area means a lot to our
I
family.
really
and
want to say
it
something
could coincide.
very, very blue right now. And I'm refraining. It's taking everything I have to hold back from saying something incredibly derogatory. But man, genocide tourism, that's, yeah. Guys, give me 1 second, okay? Okay. Are we back? Anyways, well, I mean, all of these statements are just absolutely the level of nonsense is off the charts. But hey, if that's what you want to do, I'm going to take my 4th trip to Israel and followed by my 5th trip and then my 8th COVID shot and then my Lord. And then I'm going to have a brain implant So here's a take, JB font, and I'd say this is an acceptable level of skepticism. I'd say this is a correct way of looking at it. Oh, 5th trip to Ukraine. Oh, right. You're right. He did say 5th trip to Ukraine. He must be dirtier than a porno theater mop bucket. Yeah, he did say 5th trip to Ukraine. Yeah, that guy is up to his ears in money laundering, of course, I'm sure. We should ask him where the bodies are buried and where the money's hidden, I think. Democrats do love them iron domes. As long as those iron domes are inclusive, they love them. Oh, they're not? Well, we still love them. It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. JB says, I'm sorry, but I still don't trust him. I feel like we've seen this play too many times before. He talks a good game, but we won't know until he wins and after his first year or two of running the city. I don't trust anyone in the duopoly, so you can understand my extreme caution. Although this can be a ploy to get some on the left to think reforming the system is a viable option. And man, the left is just super into that idea, right? They're like, really? We have somebody to vote for again? They do tend to be like, well, if you don't vote for our guy, then it's going to be fascism. They tend to be the sayers of that saying. I don't know why. In reality, the system must be demolished and rebuilt. This also can be a way to get some on the left to put their guard down and believe in saviors every single time. It's every single time there's a savior. They believe in the savior. While we grow lax in our mutual aid and organizing efforts, do not be fooled. Do not stop organizing. Keep doing mutual aid and building dual power. I don't want to see my fellow leftists become devastated if Mamdani sells out. Now, if I'm wrong, I will publicly say I was wrong about Zora and Mamdani live on my platform. The crazy part is I hope I am wrong. Right? I mean, people are waiting for the day that they're proven wrong. Like, this guy's a joke. This guy's an insider. This guy's a plant. This guy has an agenda. You want to be wrong. But my intuition is screaming at me right now. I haven't said much on him, but I just want to prepare you for what could happen. And I want you to stay revolutionary in your mindset in these next 18 to 24 months. Don't take your eye off the ball. I say this with love. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Yeah. Good point, creative. Yeah. Yeah, they bombed them up. Do you think there hasn't been a lot of action on Iran's part lately? I just wonder what all the conversations were around the U.S. bombing Iran and then Trump declaring a ceasefire. I just, I'd like to know what the conversations were. Maybe they're like, hey, man, we're going to bomb you. Yeah, no, we're not going to hit anything. Yeah, we know you moved all this stuff and, we just got to do it. But like, listen, I mean, on face value, I suppose that was the conversation, but nobody knows. Oh, for sure. Israel is the epicenter for technocracy, basically. Anyways, a little more on Mamdani. One of his campaign pledges was baby baskets to newborns. Another one was no cost childcare. Another one was a $30 minimum wage in New York City. I bet $30 is a minimum wage to exist in New York. To exist like just beyond just existing, you probably have to make like $40 an hour. Living wage in Los Angeles is $27. Living wage for a family is in $40, like $45 an hour. So if you're one single person living in LA, in order to afford to live in LA, you need to make $27 an hour. And meanwhile, what? Zionists in New York have hold on. Have warned Jews to evacuate New York. And it has people a little concerned. Why? Because before 9/11, a whole bunch of people got texts and phone calls saying not to go into work today. We urge all Jews to evacuate New York City immediately. Thank you for your attention to this matter. I wondered whether this was true, and it is. This is a real post. And it's from yesterday. So I don't know. Is this where the old double F is going to go down? I don't know. The old for fuck's sake, as we call it. I don't know. Meanwhile, Democrats in DC are doing their best to not oppose Trump. The first time Trump was president, they did this whole like fake opposition thing called Russiagate. And while they were doing Russiagate, they voted for all of his bills, all of his defense authorizations, all of his increasing of the military budget, all of it. They approved all of his judges. The Democrats did all that while they were telling you that he was a Putin buddy. That worked pretty well back then to get people confused about what was really going on. But now they're just being pretty upfront about it. Democrats help kill resolution to impeach Trump over the Iran war. So apparently some Democrats had a problem with this. Oops. Sorry. In a demonstration of political support for Trump's illegal and unconstitutional war against Iran, a majority of Democrats in the House of Representatives joined a unanimous Republican caucus on Tuesday to block a resolution to impeach the president, which was led by Al Green of Texas. Democrats voted 128 to 79 and Republicans 216 to 0 to table the resolution that had been introduced by Democrat Al Green of Texas. Every Democratic Party leader from Hakeem Jeffries on down, along with Nancy Pelosi, Steny Hoyer, James Clyburn, voted to kill the measure. Are you clear yet that the Democrats are not serious about any such resistance? Notably, Green's resolution did not denounce Trump's bombing of Iran as an unprovoked aggression or a violation of international law, which it was. Instead, it focused solely on his failure to seek congressional authorization, which he needs, accusing Trump of abusing presidential powers by usurping Congress's power to declare war and ordering strikes without the constitutionally mandated congressional authorization or notice. While the resolution described Trump as an authoritarian president who has instigated an attack on the United States Capitol, denied persons due process of law, and called for the impeachment of federal judges who ruled against him, it did not propose any charges relating to these actions or to Trump's overall campaign to establish himself as a dictator president. Did not mention Trump's military deployment in Los Angeles or his nationwide roundups of immigrant workers. Even this narrowly drawn resolution was met with vehement opposition from the Democratic leadership in the House. How dare you? How dare you? We hate Trump, but we secretly love Trump. How dare you not secretly love Trump? Gregory says, I don't think Iran will quit World War III while Israel is killing people in Gaza. Well, we'll see. Anyways. In March, Schumer played the central role, in intervening to uphold Trump's government when he led a group of Democratic senators who provided the deciding votes to pass a continuing resolution funding the Trump administration until September 30th. Anyways, the Democratic Party is an advocate and instrument of American imperialism and also slide in fascism there. They are not an opposition party. Are you clear on that yet? And this is hilarious headline from New York Times. Former Secretary of State Antony Blinken published an op-ed titled "Trump's Iran strike was a mistake. I hope it succeeds." Which could be rephrased as, Trump is a bad man. I secretly love Trump. I'm a Democrat. Or not so secretly, I guess. They are warmongers. and fascists. And they got you fooled thinking that they care about people like you. Anyways, multiple areas in Ohio go under boil water advisory from treatment. Employee found dead in tank. What? Extra Bullo coming in with the space rocks. Kick space rocks, bro. Trump said to Musk as he exited the building. All right. RFK Jr. is out promoting wearables. To suck up your milkshake of information. Where are we? I don't know. People still believe in RFK. There were some holdouts. For a while, I kept seeing people pushing out like, RFK has done it again. He's changing things for the better. Yeah, absolutely, Wesley. Whenever any form of government becomes destructive to these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it and institute a new government. That is in the Constitution. Yeah. Well, what's this? How come we can't get this to load? Come on. Come on now. Oh, Declaration of Independence. Yeah, you're right. Maybe this post is gone, I guess. I don't know. That's weird. Or maybe X isn't coming up for me. I'm not sure. Oh, I guess X is just being weird right now. Thanks, Wesley. Me thoughts that was a piece of the Constitution. Oh my God. Are we going to get this coming up anytime soon, people? I cannot get X to come up. What's the dealio? Hold on. Let me try this again. Let's see if I reload X over here. Is it going to come up? Hey. Looks like it will. I don't know. Is it X? Is it my computer? Is something happening? Can you guys hear me and see me okay? Is X down? Oh boy. Hold on, guys. X is working for you? Oh, so it must be on my end. Yeah, every time I load a page now and X, it's gone. You're listening to me on X and seeing me on YouTube? Sweet. Surround Black Bear News surround sound or surround experience. I don't know what you would call that. Let's see. I don't know what to do here, y'all. Okay, I'm going to exit out of my browser and maybe it'll come back up. So I'm probably, you're going to lose me for a second. So bear with me. I'll be right back. Where'd my screen go? Hello. Can I get my screen back? There we go. Well, that was annoying, guys. Somehow my whole internet went down. Or my connection went down. All right, where were we? That is very frustrating. Okay. We're talking about wearables and we're starting from the beginning because nothing would come up. And it took me a while to figure out why nothing was coming up. Sorry, everyone who had issues. Sorry about that. All right, but we're back. All right, a little reminder about the wearables, which they say, which they market under the guise of health. And I feel like there was a recent court case about this. Your Alexa and Fitbit can testify against you in court. Well, so can your phone and your computer. If you're going to blame anything, blame the Death Star mic. Your computer can testify against you, your phone, your TV, your Alexa. They're all tracking you. Your Apple Watch. We're going to go through a couple of posts on this. The wearables, which RFK recently said, we really want to get everybody to get their wearables on so that they can have better health. Yes, absolutely, Salt Lakers. Especially the strap-ons. Be careful. Driverless cars. Yep. Don't you know all the new strap-ons come with Bluetooth? There's a joke in there somewhere. New strap-on with Bluetooth. What? Delene says your Facebook, your X, your YouTube channel. Absolutely. Absolutely. Speaking of Palantir, there it is, Wearables, Data, Palantir. And they're so here's RFK. Wearables put the power of health back in the hands of American people. We're launching one of the largest HHS campaigns in history to encourage their use. Really? So every American can take control of their health. Because golly gee, it's just so difficult to just eat some goddamn vegetables. Right? Stop eating takeout. Maybe prepare your own food. Drink more water and less, Coke and random garbage. Exercise. You don't need a wearable to help you with any of that. Just, go out and start walking. Go out the door and start running. Get on the ground and do push-ups. Like you don't need all the things for that. You definitely don't need wearables for that. You don't need a wearable to tell you to have you drank 8 clips of water today? Just count 8 in your head. 8 in your head. The phone is basically a wearable, yeah. Some people got rid of theirs because it brings out their OCD. That got rid of their what? Their wearables or their phone? Or all the above? Water is dangerous. Well, it depends on where you get it. Everything's dangerous. Well, let's listen to this.
Secretary Kennedy, my first question is that there is a tremendous amount of research that shows that greater engagement with one's health leads to better outcomes. In recent years, American innovators have created and improved wearable devices so that not only are consumers able to better engage with their health through monitoring data, but they are able to share that data with providers. I believe American consumers, in line with the 21st Century Cures Act, should be able to access these innovative wellness tools. Secretary Kennedy, do you agree that consumers should continue to have access to these tools?
Absolutely. In fact, we're about to launch one of the biggest advertising campaigns in HHS history to encourage Americans to use wearables. It's a way of people can take control.
Secretly, I got a $10 million payment from Palantir as part of their marketing campaign.
All over their own health. They can take responsibility. They can see, as you know, what food is doing to their glucose levels, their heart rates, and a number of other metrics as they eat it. And they can begin to make good judgments about their diet, about their physical activity, about the way that they live their lives. We think that wearables are a key to the MAHA agenda, making America healthy again. And we are going to, my vision is that every American is wearing a wearable within 4 years.
Freaking know that the food you're eating is healthier for you. If you're eating an apple, that is better for you than eating a bag of chips. Like, you need a wearable to tell you that? No, you don't. What you need is a brain. Use it. Just use it. Like, just say no. Come on, Nancy Reagan had the right idea. She was great. Just say no. Well, more on this. This is from some few things about Palantir and their desire for wearables. LOT wearables increasing the amount of data available for analysis. At the same time, each new breakthrough is more difficult. At Palantir, we work with some of the world's premier research institutions, including pharmaceutical companies, health regulators, public health services, and research, blah, blah, blah. Wearables equals continuous emotional telemetry. Wellness apps, psychological profiling. Palantir doesn't just store this data, it binds it to other data sets, to other systems, to your digital twin. And it builds predictive vectors off every pulse. It can tell if you're angry before you say a word. It can anticipate protest before you make a sign. That's it's Shmooly butt plug is, yeah, right up in there. All right. So that's what Palantir is doing with your wearable information, your data sets. Oh my gosh, you guys are just, you're out there and you're having a good time. Let's keep going. More on this. Some more on this. How does an hour go by so quickly? I just don't understand. Regarding RFK Jr. and the wearables, that's what Casey Means company Levels is, biosurveillance. Casey Means and Sam Korkos of Levels aren't interested in healthcare. They're interested in the proven pattern of influencers selling snake oil. Casey is great at it.
Okay, I want to talk about one of my favorite things that you guys have done. We talked a little bit about this before, but basically you decided to turn your co-founder into an influencer. It was like a conscious decision. Basically, you decided to turn your co-founder into an influencer. It was like a conscious decision that you made. Yeah. And then you actually pulled it off and like it worked. It's really rare to see someone sort of intentionally build one of their co-founders up into an influencer and then actually have the content like chops, I guess, to make that happen. So why did you know so early on that was going to be something that you wanted to do and also that you could do with the limited resources that an early stage startup has?
We knew that this was achievable in our category. So within the context of health and wellness, this is a thing that already has a pretty established pattern for people who are influential, who are trusted, who people follow and who people listen to. We're not trying to invent a new category. This is already a very large category with a lot of people who have done this very successfully. And so Casey happens to enjoy it and she's really good at it. So she started doing it. She got a lot of practice in. Eventually, she just became absolutely exceptional at it. And so we put more resourcing into it, building up her personal brand, building in that distribution, and it worked really well.
Wow. not a medical doctor. I'm more like an influencer. That's what they pay me for. Wait. Hold on. I want to see that. What was the headline at the end of that? Sorry. Sorry, guys.
And it worked really well.
Means is popular in right-leaning wellness circles, but does her inactive medical license disqualify her from the top job? Apparently not. Apparently not. Oh yeah, yeah. Amazon, they're doing that, scanning the palms that are linked to your bank account. Hail to the no. Musk and RFK now competing for who can make the digital concentration camp more fashionable. This is Catherine Austin Fitts. Including the train tracks for electronic surveillance, mind control, and LOB more fashionable. Do you find slavery attractive? Or is it IOB, LOB? Internet of Bodies, IOB. Do you find slavery attractive? RFK now betraying everything he ever said he stood for. Watch Klaus Schwab explain how wearable tech will lead to implantable tech into our bodies. We know Elon is a brain chip guy, and now RFK is pushing wearables.
Aujourd'hui, au bout de ça, on parle de puces qu'on pourra s'implanter. Ce sera quand ça?
Certainement dans les 10 années à venir. Et d'abord, on va les implanter dans nos vêtements, c'est-à-dire wearables, comme on le dit. Et après, on pourrait s'imaginer qu'on les implante dans nos cerveaux ou dans nos topos. Et à la fin, peut-être il y a une communication directe entre notre cerveau et le monde digital. Ce que nous voyons, c'est une sorte de fusion du monde physique, digital et biologique.
We think that wearables are a key to the Maha agenda of making America healthy again.
Okay. No, heck and no. Extra bullet. No. He was a good time there for a while, Klaus. They had to let him go, though. They had to send him packing. Gave him his walking papers. Klaus, you are a liability. By the way, guys, if you like the show coming to you for free Monday through Friday, supporting the show is a really great thing to do. You can do that at the links in the description box on YouTube or the link tree on X or Telegram. Okay. Why do you guys have such... Okay. Anyways, all the usual suspects are there as far as links go. Venmo, PayPal, CashApp, Zelle, Patreon, Substack, Buy Me a Coffee, Ko-Fi. Many of y'all support the show on a regular basis. You know who you are, and I appreciate you. Somebody did hit me up on Ko-Fi. I'm betting that is... Tor, thank you. Appreciate you for that, Tor. Yeah, it's hot. It's getting up to 103 on the East Coast today. Oh, geez. Yeah. Yep. Ils sont toujours comme un imbécile en français. Anyways, that's happening. While that's happening, BlackRock is investing and all of this new, fun, AI-driven military hardware, and they're betting big. BlackRock bets big on defense companies amid escalating geopolitical tensions. Palantir, Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman among stocks in focus. Woohoo. But that's BlackRock. This is Revolutionary Blackout. Says the capitalist class is purposely plunging the world into never-ending conflict for never-ending profits. The goal is not successful war; it's never-ending profitable war. Which is why it's good to just bomb Iran and get out. It's good to just have missiles flying in the air, people fleeing, running scared, getting on planes and coming back and getting. This is all good for business. Stock market goes down, stock market goes up. It's good for business. The never-ending perpetual skirmishes, not outright war. We just want the threat of confrontation, skirmishes, tensions. We need to have some place on the planet to, that people can throw missiles at each other and test out all their new really cool gear and drones and Starlink. Man, it's fun stuff. Oh, and then this is from a couple days ago, but harrowing nonetheless. Harvard study finds that there are 400,000 Palestinians missing in Gaza since 2023. Israel has disappeared nearly 400,000 Palestinians. Half of them are children buried beneath rubble, dumped in mass graves, erased. Harvard has now confirmed what we've been screaming into a deaf world. Right. So they've been trying to push out the idea that the casualties are like, 30,000, 50,000 ish, give or take. And what people have been saying for a long time is no, it's like 300,000. Harvard is saying 400,000, close to 400,000. Study uses data-driven analysis and spatial mapping to highlight a severe decline in Gaza's population due to Israel's indiscriminate attacks and siege. The report was written by Israeli professor Yaakov Garb, who used data-driven analysis, etc. From the cradle. Can't even end the sentence because it's just too dark. Yeah, the goal is not an endless war, not a successful war. Julian Assange. Yes. I mean, I think the blueprint was like Korea and then Vietnam. But that enraged the people too much. So now they do things like Iraq twice and Syria. And they do it in such a way so that nobody ever really feels or sees any of the consequences of it. But Gaza has turned that around for sure. You don't really see much coming from Ukraine, right? People aren't really connected to like the carnage of Ukraine or to what's happening in Ukraine. People don't really see any body counts or anything like that from Ukraine. But Gaza is a different story. Gaza has people pissed, as it should, as all wars should. Excuse me. Study published via the Harvard Dataverse reveals that Israel has disappeared at least 377,000 Palestinians since the start of the genocidal campaign against the Gaza Strip in 2023. The 377,000 number is approximately 17% of the Gaza Strip's entire population, which now stands at 1.85 million. While some are displaced or missing, a significant number are believed to have been killed by Israeli forces. The professor notes that the official death toll, which is 61,000, is clearly an underestimate, as victims who remain trapped under the rubble are not included. Garb also condemned in the report the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, a controversial U.S.-Israeli aid distribution mechanism launched last month. These aid compounds seem to reflect a logic of control, not assistance. And it would be a misnomer to call them humanitarian aid distribution hubs. They do not adhere to humanitarian principles, and much of their design and operation is guided by their objectives, which undermine their declared purpose. The UN has accused GHF of being designed to further the forced displacement. Since it began operations, GHF has led to the deaths of hundreds of Palestinian aid seekers by Israeli forces. The Lancet Medical Journal released a study in January this year revealing that the death toll from Israel's genocide in Gaza was most likely undercounted by 41%. In the first 9 months of the war. The January study highlighted that around 59% of those killed were women, children, and the elderly. Whew, okay. Well, that is tragic. And just continues. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you to those who have donated, and thanks for hanging out. Thanks for coming through. Always appreciate your attendance on the lives. I will be back tomorrow at the regular time of 12 p.m. Pacific. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you soon. Peace.